And I did forget one thing, that at my audition, it was Steven Spielberg and Frank Marshall and the heads of the and God came to mind, and George Washington. and Sultan of Brunei came to mind.
Real quick, I gotta ask you, since you looked at that script and it was all this secrecy, did it have a different name than Back to the Future, or was it?
No, it was Back to the Future, and my character was called Lisa,
Okay.
which came after this actress that Bob Gale always was enamored with, but I cannot remember her name.
So this is a question for all of you.
Lisa.
Quick question for all of you. How much of your personality and energy were you allowed to put into your characters? Was it pretty strictly what was written on the page, or could you kind of expand on that on your own? Chris.
Yes, I just kind of got off on the way it was written. He's somebody who's constantly afraid he's done something, or somebody's going to do something that's going to cause the implosion of a space-time continuum. Would you agree?
I do,
Okay.
indubitably.
So, Doc is always hysterical. Marty, don't do that. No. Maybe if that happens, that's going to happen. That's where he's kind of at. So I just wanted to try to.
Because was the character at all written with you in mind even before you were cast? Because nobody else could really pull that off, in my opinion. That character of Doc, was that written with you in mind from the get-go? Because it's such a good match.
I've never heard that officially, no. So, I don't know.
I'm going to take that as a yes.
I'll try to make it brief, but with a very extreme character like Biff, it was an unusual approach. I'm the biggest nerd in here. I was on the Nerdist podcast, okay? And I said, I know you've had a lot of nerds, and I claim that I'm the biggest nerd that's ever been on this podcast. Okay, I was president of the debating team. I played the tuba in the band. I have asthma, an asthmatic tuba player, okay? Paint your own picture. I couldn't even put air through the thing. I was staggering behind the rest of the band in every parade I was ever in, okay? That's nerd, okay? The only award I ever received in high school was for the oral interpretation of the poetry of Russian poet Yevgeny Yevtushenko. Stick that in your craw, nerds. Yes, see? Okay, maybe not the gold medalist, but I'm around the medal stand. So I had asthma. I missed a lot of school. When I came back to school, I was pushed around by bullies most of my whole life. Then I came to Hollywood. I did the things that I did, and then the first actual major movie that I was auditioning for was for a bully, a character really that I hate. And they would always say in acting, you find yourself in the characters. You say, find yourself in there, find yourself. So I looked for a while, and I couldn't find myself in the character. It had to be, there are two approaches that you take, and every actor is a mixture of two. An internal approach, what you're about, finding yourself in the character, and an external approach, putting on a dialect, a physicality, a way of speaking, a way of moving, those kinds of things, and investing that with the character. So I had decided I can't make an internal approach to this because I'm too upset. I don't want to push people around, and I don't want to inhabit this guy. So I chose an external approach, and so it was very much to me an acting technique job, not an internal searching inside of myself for the inner bully who enjoys pushing people around. because I won't get it. I didn't even like auditioning with Crispin. Why? Because I'm pushing him around with a scene that they made up for us to audition. It was like a specific written for the audition. And Crispin starts acting like I'm pushing him around and beating him up. And I couldn't even continue because he's that good. You know? In our first audition, I thought, as I told you, I hope that I could be one of Biff's gang members, but if they don't give this guy George McFly, they are out of their minds. This dude is unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, with that kind of brilliance, both things were necessary to me. First, I needed an external approach, and secondly, clearly, when you're around actors at this professional level, you just think, I've got to up my game. This is no joke, you know. We are in like the big stadium with the big lights. So, so that, I guess that's my answer, if that makes sense to you.
Woo!
Thank you. Please sit down. It's embarrassing to the others. I can't see up there.
That was like a master class in acting, wasn't it? That was awesome.
Thank you.
Jennifer and I were very, very much alike, except Jennifer had a boyfriend and she was in a relationship, and I was too shy, and no one asked me out. So I would say, and I used to do, I always did character background, so I knew how Jennifer did at school, about her parents, where she lived. I just wrote everything, and I always knew, you know, what she was thinking and different things. But Jennifer Parker and I were extremely similar, other than the fact that she was, if you can believe it, a little more, what's the word? Not as shy sexually. What's the word? I can't think of the word.
Promiscuous?
What?
Promiscuous.
No, she wasn't promiscuous.
This isn't improv. I'll say what it is.
Like she, less inhibited.
Yeah, well, yeah, inhibition.
Thank you. Less inhibited than I was in real life. And I was, whenever I was acting, that was always my freedom. I was always less inhibited acting than I was in my actual life, because that was where I could be free to be me in different characters. It was literally my heaven. I forgot what else I was going to say. It had something to do with something you said, but I don't remember.
It was going to be really good.
It was
though.
going to be so good.
It was so solid. And we'll think of it.
Somewhere at the beginning of what you were saying.
Think of it.
Yeah, about 2 in the morning.
Never mind.
I just have like 2 more questions for you guys.